I have a word that you're going to get to be a really good expert on. Can you whisper it out loud? Imagination. You guys have used your imagination so much this year. We've just had the Festival of Arts, we've just had a play, we've had so many activities where you had to use your imagination. So this week, we're looking at the way you form pictures or ideas in your mind. So the way you form pictures or ideas in your mind, you're using your imagination. So when you guys do art, when you guys do music, like our songs that we're singing, when you make poetry, you're using your imagination. So we're going to take a look at our poster, the first one here. And what does it say?
Imagination.
Well, it's the root word. It's what?
Imagine.
Imagine. So we're going to take a look at our essential question. And it says the world of ideas. So that's what we're going to be exploring, the world of ideas. And our essential question is what? Raise your hand if you could tell me, what is our essential question? Cody, can you read it nice and loud?
Where can your imagination take you?
Awesome. Where can your imagination take you? So right now, before you turn to your neighbor, you're going to think. You're going to think in your brain right now, and you're going to look at this girl, and you're going to try to imagine, where do you think this girl might go? Notice she's holding onto her balloons. Where do you think she might go? Where do you think these balloons might take her? You're not going to tell me. You're going to be telling your partner in a second, but be ready to tell what your partner tells you. Some of you are going to share, what did your partner tell you? So Alexis, scoot one over so you can be closer to your partner. Turn to your partner, tell them, where do you think this girl might go? Please tell your neighbor. David's right next to David. Switch it. All right. Please turn. Who would like to share what your neighbor told you? Charlotte, what did your neighbor tell about where this girl might go?
He said he might go to Disneyland.
Okay. Elizabeth, what did your partner say?
We both said space.
Oh, you both said the same thing. Kelsey, what did your partner say?
To New York. That's what she said.
Okay, so far across the country to another state. Xander, what did your neighbor say?
He said lemons pot of golden food.
Oh. Diana, what did your partner say?
He said that he will wear emotions, and I said a mountain that she grew up hiking.
Okay. David, what did your partner say? Space. Awesome. So your imagination can take you a really far way away. Now put your arms down. You're going to have lots of opportunities to tell me your ideas. We're going to take a look at our video, and we're going to see a little bit more about creativity and where our imagination can take us.
The world of ideas. Where can your imagination take you? After reading a book about doctors, Abby is imagining that she is a doctor, helping her patient to feel better. In his imagination, Tyler is soaring through the sky in his airplane. He loves reading stories about pilots. Maybe one day he'll be a pilot too. In your imagination, you can be a character from your favorite story. Let your imagination go. There's no telling where it might take you.
All right. So notice in the video, kids are using their imagination, they're creating, and there's all kinds of things that we can create. So we're going to get ready to be experts on our vocabulary words. Some of you looked up here and you noticed, wow, we normally have the whole board filled but this week we only have 4. So raise your hand if you notice a word up there that you already know how to read or you know what it means. Noah, what word do you recognize?
Create.
Can you say it a little bit louder?
Create.
Create. And what does create mean?
It means that that someone might be creating something.
Someone might be creating something.
Like making.
Like making something? Okay. Did anyone want to add something to that? Diana, did you want to add something to what you think create means?
Create means to make something that's been created.
Okay. Does anyone see a different word you recognize? Time out.
Imagination.
There's our word, imagination. So
Imagination.
how would you describe imagination? Time out.
I have a big imagination.
Good sentence. I have a big imagination. I have a big imagination. Davina, did you have another word or did you want to add something to imagination?
Another.
What other word do you recognize?
Dazzling.
Dazzling. What do you think dazzling means?
Like something pretty like I went to New York and I saw a bunch of dazzling lights.
Oh, so you're thinking dazzling would describe lights. Dazzling would describe lights. Lonnie, do you see another word you recognize? Seconds. What does that mean? So it kind of reminds you of a clock that shows seconds. We've got a second hand that keeps moving around and it shows seconds. Awesome.
Or like second
So
chances.
second graders, you're going to be picking your favorite word. So as we look at the words and see the videos, think of your favorite one. Be ready to pick your favorite one that you're going to describe and then use in a sentence, and you're going to illustrate using your imagination and being very creative. Okay? All right, so let's take a look.
Imagination.
All right, can you whisper this word to your neighbor?
Create.
Create. The child will create a painting with paints. Create. When you create something, you make or invent it.
Awesome. So that's kind of like what you said, Tomo. Jaden?
I don't have a hard. Wait, I didn't say
Well, you
that.
know what? David?
I
You should
didn't
be
say
right
that.
next to
I have
Jaden.
imagination.
So everyone.
I didn't say that.
Oh, that was you, Noah. That was a good one. Whisper this one to your neighbor.
Dazzling.
Dazzling. The city lights looked dazzling at night.
Davina, that kind of sounds like what you talked about describing the nighttime lights.
Dazzling. Something that is dazzling is very bright.
Oh, the word dazzling was actually like dazzling.
Whisper this one to your neighbor.
Imagination. Bill used his imagination to be a pilot.
And whisper the last one.
Seconds. It took just a few seconds to run across the gym.
All right, and then we're going to be back to our beginning word. All right. A couple other words you're going to have to be experts on are our sight words. And so first graders, you normally have yours, but first and second graders, you're both going to have the same ones. So let's be ready to sound out. And then we'll work on the syllables. All right, eyeballs up here. Would you please whisper this word to your neighbor?
Anyone. Afternoon. Everything.
Everybody say this one.
Pretended.
Pretended. Awesome.
Scientist. Were. Throughout.
watching the person next to you. Let's have us hop the syllables. Are you ready?
Anyone.
How many times did you hop, Charlotte, on that one? Anyone. Let's try it again.
Anyone.
How many? Try this one.
Afternoon. Everything.
Summer, how many times did you hop on that word? All right, should we try it again?
Everything.
Right.
Pretended.
Jose, how many times did you hop on that word? Let's try it again.
Pretended.
What was it? It's so tricky. Try this one.
Scientist. Whatever.
Jaden, how many times did you hop on that one?
What?
3 times?
Last time we were like.
Did we already do this one? Let's do it one more time.
Throughout.
Please have seats.
No, we haven't done too much. We haven't done trouble.
I'm going to mix them up.
We haven't done trouble.
That's okay. I'm going to mix them up. All right, if you get a card, please look at it very carefully. We're going to make sure we get our words in alphabetical order. By the end of the week, you will all be experts on these words. So we'll put our words in alphabetical order. Please listen for your clue, okay? So if we go A, B, C, D, E, if you get any of those cards, get yourselves in order and put them in the right spot. Go. You gotta talk to your friends. Figure out who's gonna go first.
Sam's gonna go first.
There's 2 A's, so what do they have to do?
There's 3 A's.
There's 3 A's, so what do they have to do? Move to the next letter. Awesome. Awesome. So Xander, how did you know yours went first?
Because F comes for H and N.
Awesome. We'll wait on that one. We'll wait on that one. Diana. Sam, how did you know where yours were supposed to go? The H came before N. Awesome. All right. Let's keep going. B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, Q, R,
S, P.
S.
Oh, we have 2.
Oh, we've got 2.
That one.
Anaya, how did you know that David went first?
Because he goes before.
Oh, and you have a letter that's an S and then an O. Awesome. Diana, quickly. Let's keep going. What comes next? T. All right, who goes first? Awesome. Noah, how did you know where your part went?
Because H is before. I heard H before R, so I heard it. Then I already knew.
Good. Good. Awesome. The first letter was T. You had to go to the next one. Good. And what's left? U, V, W. And I think Jaden, your last. What did you get?
Whatever.
Wherever. Awesome. You can put that in. Kelsey, let's wait since we already have a friend in the restroom. Okay. All right, Jaden, you can put yours there on the bottom.
Mrs. Shedrick, I noticed something about all these cards.
What did you notice?
I noticed that for every card they have a number in the 200s, but mine's in the 300s.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So boys and girls, we're going to get to our last stories here, and they're not regular stories. We're going to have a different genre. We've talked a little bit about poetry, but we're going to explore 3 poems, and they're not as long. We are going to get to choose, so you get to pick your favorite ones, and you're going to be the illustrator. I took the pictures out, and so you're going to get to be the illustrator. So we've got 3 stories. These are the first 2, 3 poems. These are the first 2, and then the next one's on the next page. So notice the genre up here. What does it say? Poetry. So there's a few things that we should remember about poetry. Now, does poetry always rhyme? Does poetry always rhyme?
No.
Who can raise your hand and tell me a little bit about that? Cody, what do you remember about poetry?
Poetry doesn't have to rhyme.
Okay, so
There
does
is
it always have to?
there's another one that where there is a lot of stuff that there's a lot of words that are the same.
Okay, so in this poem, Cody, you are going to hear some words that sound the same at the ending, okay? The ending way of the words, the way they finish will sound the same. So this poem does have rhyme, but there's other types of poem called free verse where there is not rhyme. But this poem does have a lot of rhyming words. Thumbs up if you already see some rhyming words. We're going to be highlighting some in a minute. So good, put your arms down. And you're going to hear some words that are compared to other things that are not necessarily the same. Not quite right now, Jose. Not a good time. Not a good time. First class. Sometimes if you compare one thing to another, like I'm thinking of our primary Olympics, and I'm thinking of Jessie that ran really fast. If I was trying to describe Jessie as a runner, I might say Jessie ran as fast as a cheetah. Or when I'm thinking of Casey when you were doing the long jump, remember that? I might say Casey can jump as far as a kangaroo. Am I really saying she's a kangaroo?
No.
Am I really saying Jessie is a cheetah? I'm comparing them to something different, but it helps you to understand, oh, Jessie's a fast runner because I know Cheetah's a fast runner. Or Casey's really good at jumping, and I know a kangaroo is good at jumping.
Wow.
So by the end of this week, you're going to get to see how poets make images in our mind. Those that are reading their poems create an image and how they use words to kind of make their poems come alive. It might help us see something in our mind. It might help us feel the way the poet feels about something. Usually the poet will have a message. They kind of want us to know something or feel something. So as we're reading, be ready to notice, what is the poet trying to show us? How are they trying to make us feel? How do they feel about the particular subject they're talking about? Okay, so our first poem is called A Box of Crayons, and you're going to see how the poet Isaiah describes a particular kind of day and what he does. Okay, Lonnie, did you have a comment before we listen to it?
I know what story you got.
What does that remind you of? And we just had a play about the 3 little pigs, so you can kind of see the characters and the kids using their imagination, okay? So we're going to see how poets use their imagination. Let's listen to the first one, and we'll see if we also notice some rhyme.
Genre: poetry. A box of crayons. A box of crayons is the sun on a dreary, rainy day. You can draw a hot air balloon and travel far, far away. You can draw a beach and play in the silky sand. You can draw a drum and play in a marching band. With crayons, you can always create something exciting, something great. By Isaiah Knowles.
Thumbs up if you heard some rhyme. Awesome. I wonder what the author means when we look at this first verse, this first line. A box of crayons is the sun. I wonder what the poet means when they say that. A box of crayons is the sun. Casey, what do you think the poet means when they say that?
I think it means they're bright colors.
Say it a little louder.
I think it means that they're bright colors.
Ah, so the crayons are bright colors. If we keep reading, a box of crayons is the sun on a dreary, rainy day. A dreary, rainy day. Now, if we were having a rainy day, what would it look like outside? Noah, what would it look like if it was a rainy day, a dreary, rainy day?
It would be a rain.
And we kind of studied clouds a lot. What do you think the sky would look like?
It would look dark and gray.
Kind of dark and gray. That's kind of what dreary means.
I know what it means. I think it means like that they're like the color yellow because there's some kind of yellows beside the box.
Okay, lots of colors. Casey mentioned the bright colors. When you get a brand new box of crayons, you open them up and you pull out the crayons and there's all those colors. But if it's a dreary day, like Noah described, it's going to look what outside?
It's probably like a rainbow.
Those are rainbow colors. If it's a dreary day and rainy, it's going to look kind of gray and dark. So these crayons are really, really bright. And what does the artist draw? What does the artist illustrate? Tymel, what does the artist do with their crayons? What do they draw?
They draw fun things.
What kind of things?
Fun things. And I also get what it means by a box of crayons in the.
What do you think?
It means like a type of yellow or like colored in the sun.
Oh, so even if it's a dreary day, this poet could actually show the sun and it'll be kind of bright. Awesome. So you might be at home and maybe it's kind of a dreary day. You can't go outside and play, and you can pull out your crayons though. And what can you do? You can start illustrating and be really creative and use your what? Imagination. Who can tell me some things that the poet draws? What are some things that the poet draws? Lonnie?
Hot air balloon.
Look at that, hot air balloon. What else, Jose?
Beach.
The beach, awesome, way to use the text. What else? What else, Tymel?
A rainy day.
Say it a little louder.
A rainy day.
Do you see the word rainy day up there? Good. Cody, what else does the poet draw?
A drum.
A drum. So they may not really have a drum, but if you're the artist, you can draw whatever you want. David, did you see another one?
Hot air balloon.
Yep. Awesome. Let's listen to it one more time and be ready to come point out some rhyme.
Genre: poetry. A box of crayons. A box of crayons is the sun on a dreary, rainy day. You can draw a hot air balloon and travel far, far away. You can draw a beach and play in the silky sand. You can draw a drum and play in a marching band. With crayons, you can always create something exciting, something great.
Now, does the poet really go to all these places? They're just kind of pretending. Hey, Cody or Lonnie, that was the same word that you guys read for me a little bit before. Let's see if we can find some of the rhyme. Elizabeth, can you go up and highlight 2 words that rhyme? You know what is our it might be off a little bit. There you go. Can you say your words out loud?
Dead away.
Awesome. Go tag someone who sees some more rhyme.
Just have a question. What do you say? Words?
That's a great question. You mean words inside of the line
Yeah.
or the same exact word?
The same exact word.
Well, let's see. We'll let the kids finish and see. So far, it looks like we have words that end alike, and they're different words, but they do end alike. What were your words,
Create
Diana?
and great. Because R-E-A-T-E, R-E-A-T.
Awesome. Tag someone else who sees more rhyme. can look at it all and see maybe we're done with the rhyme, maybe you see something else. Do you think we're done, David?
Has to be. There could be a rhyme.
It could. Should we read it and make sure? How about we'll read it and we'll especially emphasize the yellow words. A box of crayons is the sun on a dreary, rainy day. You can draw a hot air balloon and travel far, far
Away.
You can draw a beach and play in the silky sand. You can draw a drum and play in a marching band. With crayons, you can always create something exciting, something awesome. Well, I'll get back to you on the second one, okay? Good job, David. All right, so we're going to take a look at the second one. And this one is called What Story Is This? I think we all know what story this is. And you're going to notice here that there's some different characters. Who'd like to name one of the kids? Because maybe you see their name. Who's playing one of the parts, either the wolf or the pigs? Who's playing the parts of the characters? Charlotte, do you see any names? Who? And we won't highlight, but you can tell.
That's my friend.
What's her name?
Claire.
Claire. So there's a girl named Claire who's playing the wolf. Awesome. Jessie, we'll let someone else do another one. Good job. Do you see another name that describes a character who's playing a character? What's her name? Julie. She's playing one of the pigs. Noah, go quickly. Matthew, do you see another name? Someone who's playing a part in the play?
I want to
What do you see? Ah, two. Good. Good. You see Pat in the same line and Joseph. So Joseph and Pat are also playing the pigs. Good. So now we know the name of the characters. So in our first poem, we are kind of getting to go to different places. That's what the poet is showing us. Over here, I wonder if they're really going somewhere or if something else is happening. Let's see what the poet's trying to show us. You ready? You ready, boys and girls?
What story is this? None of us are us today. We're putting on a play. Knock, knock, knock. Someone's there. That's the wolf, my friend Claire. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Julie, a little pig, says with a grin. Joseph and Pat are pigs as well. They run to Claire's house and ring the bell. Do you remember this story's name? If so, you've won this guessing game. By Trevor Reynolds.
David, did you notice some rhyme? Why don't you come up and find two lines that rhyme? And what did you find?
Gaming.
Name a name. Can you find someone else who could point to some more words? 3, 2, 1. David, what did you find? That's okay, you can tap it again. Our smartboard is off a little. Here, we'll get that one off. Which one did you want? There you go, tap it a little bit below. There you go. And what words did you find? Well and bell.
Wait, Green and Chain rhyme.
Raise your hand if you see another one. Can you find somebody else? 3, 2, and Cody. A little bit below. I'll have to fix that. A little bit below. I'll help you there. You want that one? Yeah. What did you get, Cody?
Chin and Grin.
Chin and grin. Awesome.
Fun size.
It looks like, Cody, there's kids who are finding more. Can you tag somebody else, Cody?
There's already 3 lines in that. But there's a spot.
Let's see, what did you get?
Clear in there.
Clear in there, and there's still someone's hand up. What is the poet actually telling us? Cody's got an idea. Take a minute to think about that. The first poem, we kind of get to go anywhere we want. What is the poet kind of telling us in this poem? Charlotte, what do you think?
It's telling us, like, the reason why it says none of us are lost today is because they're putting on a play and they're different characters and they're not themselves.
So they're actually getting to be different characters and they're not themselves. So you really can be anything you want when you are playing in a play. One more for you. And this one actually has 2 lines. I hope you're thinking about which one is your favorite. You're going to get to illustrate. All right, so this one is called what? The Ticket. And we've got some interesting illustrations here. So one thing you should know, there's an interesting line here. It says something about a lion's lair. Give me a thumbs up if you see the word lair. That might be kind of a new place. If you think of a lion, he's going to be a little tired at times after racing around hunting for food, and he's going to want to rest. But he kind of wants a private place, so that's what a lair is. It's kind of like a place to rest, and it's kind of hidden. It's not out in the open. Okay, so a lion's lair. So the ticket. So I wonder why the poet named this the ticket. So by the end, be ready to tell me, why do you think the poet chose that title, the ticket?
The ticket. I have a special ticket that takes me anywhere. To oceans deep, the dazzling stars, a mighty lion's lair. I've been to a volcano, which is like a boiling pot. I even rode a camel through the desert, burning hot. I've shivered at the North Pole at 43 below, and built myself a cozy igloo out of blocks of snow. I've met a great inventor and helped him to create a baseball-playing robot that slides into home plate. My journeys take just seconds. I simply close my eyes, and I'm a rocket sleek and silver, speeding through the skies. What's that? You'd like to join me? Here's all you have to do. Use your imagination, and you'll soon go places too. By Constance Kermes.
Blake, can you come up and be my partner? Can you please whisper to your partner, why do you think the poet named this The Ticket? Who would like to share out loud? What did you and your partner talk about with the meaning of the ticket? Why do you think the poet chose that title? Anaya, what did you and your partner talk about?
Me and my partner agreed on the same thing. I think he named it the ticket because he has the ticket to his imagination to imagine wherever he wants to.
So he's not really going there, but he can imagine wherever he wants to go. Summer, what did you and your partner talk about? Why do you think the poet named this the ticket?
Because usually when we go places, they name it tickets.
Oh, that's what my partner and I talked about too. So usually you go somewhere, you have to have a ticket, and it takes you there, right? Jose, what did you and your partner talk about? Why do you think the poet chose that title?
They have chosen the same thing.
You chose the same thing, and what did you both choose? You want to ask your partner? You can ask them. Divino?
I probably know why they made this picture.
Say it a little louder.
I probably know why they made this the ticket.
Why?
It's because it's kind of the main idea.
It's kind of like, oh, why is it the main idea?
It's because you have to have a ticket everywhere you go. So he had a ticket, and while the author was writing the story, they probably thought of the ticket because usually you have to have a ticket to go somewhere.
Okay. Jose and David, did you get to talk? What did you decide?
He said, he had said, a ticket takes place to imagination and adventure.
Oh, a ticket takes you to your imagination and adventure. Wow. So he's not really going there, but he's sure having an adventure in his mind. Now notice, over here, it says, my journey takes just seconds. I simply close my eyes, and I'm a rocket, sleek and silver, speeding through the sky. Why do you think it says my journey take just seconds? My journeys take just seconds. Sandra, why do you think it says my journeys take just seconds?
Because when you have a ticket, you can get on airplanes with that, and airplanes take a very quick time to get places.
Okay. And in this poem, is he really getting on an airplane?
No.
Is he really going down underwater? Okay. Sam, you want to add something there?
It's because when you use your imagination, it only takes a little time to bring you to places.
If you use your imagination, it only takes a little time to bring you to places. All right. So we're going to get ready to have you guys choose your favorite poem, and you're going to be illustrating. Boys and girls, you are going to have to highlight your words. We're not going to do this last one all together.
I said he was a baseball playing robot because I saw the base.
You're looking at the picture clues? Awesome. So you're going to be picking your favorite poem that you're going to illustrate, and you might choose something else to do a picture of, because there's a lot of things that the poet's talking about here. So you're going to pick what you want to use to illustrate, okay? So let's all close our eyes for a second. So imagine what you could actually draw here. Your imagination can just take seconds, like Sam said. I'm going to read the first line and think of what you could draw. I have a special ticket that takes me anywhere, to oceans deep, the dazzling stars, a mighty lion's lair. Okay, you can open. So you might start with that image and illustrate it. You might go to the next one. The poet didn't show a volcano. They talk about going to a volcano, which is like a boiling pot. So you might be showing that in your picture, so you get to decide on that one.